What's up guys, welcome back to Half Man of Tech. So yeah, today we have a new update and it's actually an official update that we have today, and it's iOS 14.1. This is not a beta, this is the official version, and just keep in mind that if you're on iOS 14.2, either beta 3 or beta 4 that just also came out today, you won't see this update. You have to use a computer to downgrade to iOS 14 and then you'll be able to see this update. But anyways, let's go into the general and then go to the about this iPhone section to see the software version. You can see the build number that it's 18A8395. So no letter at the end depicting that this is an official version. And then if we go back just to see iPhone storage, how much storage this update is taking itself, because some updates take more space than others, so it just takes a moment to load. And if we go all the way down, you can see that here it's taking 8.28 gig, so that is quite big. I believe on the previous version that I was on, which was 14.0.1, it was taking around 6 gigs, so it's increased by 2 gig, which is quite massive. Now in terms of new features, there's quite a number of new features and changes that came with this update, and the first one that I would like to highlight has to do with HomePod. So if you use the new HomePod mini that Apple just released, or any HomePod that basically supports the intercom support, this is now supported with iOS 14.1. so it's a matter of just going into your home application, which is this app that you see here. So this home app, you go in and then you set it up, and then you'll be able to use that new intercom feature that is supported on the HomePod now and on iOS 14.1. The next new feature that is supported with this iOS 14.1, and apparently this is not supported from the first generation SE all the way to the iPhone 7, and that is the ability to be able to play and edit 10-bit HDR videos using your iPhone. So since the iPhone 12 that was just released supports 10-bit HDR video recording, you can now edit that video on your iPhone using the Photos app. So just this Photos app that you see here, you can actually open 10-bit HDR video if you have the iPhone 8 and newer. So that is also something cool that is being supported by this update, and I kind of like this new feature because with the new iPhone 12, with the quality that they are recording in, you can now edit that. But keep in mind that there is a range of supported devices. Now this update comes with quite a number of bug fixes, and the first one has to do with widgets. So there were quite a number of reports of people having issues whenever they would edit widgets here and then drag the widgets to like a home page that had applications within a group. You'd find that, like, let's say for example these apps, when I would drag a widget here, you'd find that these apps would be removed from the social group that they are in. So that was an issue, and it has been fixed with iOS 14.1. also, if you're having widgets that were blank and not showing up either on the widgets page here or even on your home page, that is an issue that has been fixed with iOS 14.1. Now if you use the Apple Music app and view a certain album, you would find that on the previous version you were actually not able to add or download songs to your a home page or to your playlist. So that is an issue that has been fixed with iOS 14.1. also, if you're using the calculator app and then you open the calculator app, sometimes you'd find that by pressing like zeros it wouldn't show. So that is also an issue that this update fixes. And also another issue that it fixes has to do with the Apple Watch. So if you have an Apple Watch and you have a family setup, this is an issue that has been fixed. As with the previous version, there were issues when it comes to adding an Apple Watch through the Apple Watch application here. So that has also been fixed. The Files app has also been fixed, and it was sometimes displaying missing information or blank files. So that has also been fixed with this update. Also, if you're having issues when it comes to Wi-Fi connectivity or so on, when it comes to like cell, Bluetooth, basically even AirDrop, issues with regards to wireless connectivities that have been reported with the previous version have now been fixed, and that includes Wi-Fi. So you should see more stable Wi-Fi connection and cell connection, and also better AirDrop connection. Now also there's a ton of security updates that came with this iOS 14.1, and let me just show you how it came in for me on my iPhone. If we go into the Photos app here, just to see how much it came in for me, you can see that it came in for me on my iPhone X at 462.5 megabytes, which is quite fairly small. And then these are like all the issues that it basically fixed. So there's a ton of them, and those are what I've mentioned, and these seem to be most of the issues that were addressed with this update, and also two new features that were mentioned here. Now when it comes to new wallpapers, there's unfortunately no new wallpapers when it comes to this 14.1. so if we go to the wallpaper section, which is right here, wallpaper, and then go to here and then go to still, you can see that on 14.1 we don't have new wallpapers, but on 14.2, which is on beta for right now, we have new wallpapers. And I'm getting people telling me, how is YouTube picture in picture. So you can see that on 14.1, if we go and play a specific video here and then enter full screen mode like this, when we go to the home page like this, you see that YouTube picture in picture is no longer available. But I did do a video where you can use YouTube picture in picture using the actual YouTube app, and basically if you want to see how you can do that using the actual YouTube app, I will leave a link in the description of this video, and also on top of this video you can always click and see how you can do this. It's something that's very easy and actually very simple to do, and if you use this method you have more options, and as you can see, you can get YouTube picture in picture. Now let's go on to perhaps what people care about more when it comes to these updates. People are afraid of updating because when it comes to battery life, they fear that if I update, my device will get slower and also get worse battery life. So let's go here and then just see the battery health that I have here. My battery health before updating was actually on 86%, and as you can see, after updating it has dropped by 1%, so it's now on 85%. So I would like to think that there was a recalculation with this update, and basically you can see the battery health maximum capacity that I now have. In order for me to tell if this is a bug or perhaps just the recalculation, I would have to wait for the next update, and if the next update keeps it on 85%, then the recalculation was correct. So that is my maximum health capacity. And then if we go to the battery usage that I basically have, you can see that I was getting an average of about 9 hours 33 minutes, and screen on time and then screen off time was around 3 hours 25 minutes, and that was with the previous version. With this iOS 14.1, I'll need a few days to use it and see how it goes. But basically battery life, quite a number of users already are reporting that battery life is more or less the same, which is not so great, because quite a number of people want to upgrade for better battery performance. So in about 2 to 3 days, I'll be able to let you know if it's better, if it's worse, or more or less the same. Now when it comes to device performance, I'm quite happy with the device performance that I'm actually getting. So if you close most of the applications, open settings, look how fast it opens, quite quick. If you open the camera app, you can see that it's quite quick when it comes to opening. If you take a picture, it's slightly delayed, but it's not by much. It's more or less the same with the previous version. And I did run Geekbench scores just to see how it is doing. So let's go to the history that we have here. And if we see the CPU Geekbench scores, you can see that for single core I had a score of 921. Previously I had a score of 915, and then for multi-core I had a score of 2490, and previously I had a score of 2306. So you can see that it's actually better when it comes to CPU performance, both on single core and multi-core. So that is amazing, guys. You'll notice applications opening faster, although it's not by much, but it's something good to note. And then if we see the compute performance or the GPU performance that I did on my Geekbench score here, you can see that on 14.1 I had 3865 and previously I had 3978. So it's lower than expected compared to the previous version, but not by much once again. So basically this is how my device is performing. Now when it comes to whether you should update or not, you can see that the version that we have here is a 14.1. now this is the update that most people wait for, since it's iOS 14 has been in quite a number of stages, so there won't be any major bugs that will affect you at this time. And I believe if you're on the previous version of iOS 14, then it's a good update. There's a ton of bug fixes when it comes to widgets, when it comes to security and so on, and quite a number of new features. So basically that's about it for me when it comes to iOS 14.1. I'm going to be using it on my iPhone X here for some time until I do like a follow-up video. And that's about it for me. If you like this video, drop a like and hit subscribe down below. And thanks very much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next video very soon. Peace.